Welcome back to this little surfing exploration. Now, I don't think it's going to be as big as it was in Sinnoh, and especially Hoenn, so I should be done surfing around Johto before you know it. Oh yes, off screen I bought some more Pokeballs since I am going after Spiritomb a bit later, so I just wanted to be sure that I had enough Pokeballs, even though its cast rate is a bit higher than Rotom's. Now, after I'm done here, I'm going to make my way to the Ruins of Alph, since I have a few things I want to do there. Anyway, last video, I was talking about that 7-star Empoleon, and believe it or not, I found another Pokemon you could use to fight that thing. Skeledirge. Yes, a fire type against a water type, but hear me out. So my Skeledirge's ability was unaware, its turn type was fire, its nature was gentle, its held item was the Shell Bell, and I gave the moves Torch Song, Protect, Slack Off, and Sunny Day. So first, use Sunny Day and keep doing it when it expires. Then Torch Song 3 times, Slack Off if you need to heal along the way, Terastallize, then continue Torch Song until your stats reset. Then use Protect when your ability gets negated, continue Torch Song until your stats reset, use Protect again when your ability gets negated, then spam Torch Song until Empoleon goes down. Oh yeah, something I should have mentioned last video, but I completely forgot to do so. Just be sure your allies' Pokemon don't have Intimidate as their ability, otherwise, Empoleon is going to get too many special attack boosts to the point that there's no way you're surviving its attacks. But thanks to Skeletor's having Unaware, I don't have to worry about that. Oh yeah, a while ago, I complained about not being able to get Slack Off onto Skeletor's because it was one of its egg moves, but I recently found out that there's a way to get an egg move onto a Pokemon without breeding. So here's what you do. Give a Pokemon the Mirror Herb, delete one of its moves, set up a picnic, make a sandwich, and afterwards, the Pokemon that's holding the Mirror Herb should have that egg move. Here, I'll give an example. I put Skeletor's and Galarian Slowking in my party. Skeletor's has 3 moves, it's holding the Mirror Herb, and I want to learn Slack Off. So with those 2 in my party, I have a picnic, make a sandwich, pack up, and just like that, Skeletor's now knows Slack Off, despite both it and Galarian Slowking not being in the same egg group. Yeah, I didn't know about this until I looked up how to have Bellybolt learn Parabolic Charge. And now all of a sudden, I'm kind of hoping the Mirror Herb makes a comeback in Winds and Waves. Well, it all depends on what food item is going to be there. I mean, so far we had curries, sandwiches, so yeah, hopefully we see a new food item in Winds and Waves. Okay, now before I go into one of the rooms I want to go into, I believe there's an item down here. I believe it's only in this game. Okay, I believe it's right over here. And it is TM29 Psychic. Only in this game, not in the original game, so don't get confused. Okay, that's definitely going on Lugia when I get it later on. Okay, there's a matter of the ruins I want to go into. Yes, that one you see over to the left, which I can only get to with Surf. So in that rune, I believe there's going to be another slide panel puzzle, and this time it features a puzzle involving Aerodactyl. Okay, this one's pretty easy. Alright, this part goes here. Here's its tail. Okay, I think this part goes over here. Alright, this one goes here. Here's its mouth. Here's one of its limbs. And finally, this part. There we go. Of course, I'm going to come back here in a little bit because, yeah, as you can see, there's a door there. And if I want to open that door, then I have to bring a Pokemon with the move Flash, which is why I brought Wooper along with me. Good thing I didn't forget. So yeah, I looked up that little technique about the Mirror Herb via Cerebi. Yeah, I was really wondering how to have Bellybolt learn Parabolic Charge, and yeah, I was kind of concerned at the fact that Bellybolt couldn't breed with anyone, so that way he could learn Parabolic Charge. Until I discovered how to use the Mirror Herb to its full potential. Yeah, once again, I kind of hope the Mirror Herb makes a comeback in Winds and Waves. I mean, yeah, I feel kind of stupid not knowing how to use the Mirror Herb to its full potential when I played through Scarlet and Violet. I mean, had I known about that technique a lot earlier, then yeah, I would definitely give some of my Pokemon certain egg groups. Well, it all depends on what Pokemon I use. I mean, yeah, sure, I did choose Fuecoco when I first started Pokemon Scarlet. And had I known that it learned Slack Off via an egg move, then yeah, I would definitely use the Mirror Herb. If I knew that little technique back then. Okay, now for the matter of that door that's at the back of the ruins, that way I can get what's inside of it. Also see a secret message as well. Okay, here we go. Okay, this says lights. That means you have to have a Pokemon use Flash. And there we go. It's open. Okay, let's see what's inside. Okay, here we have the Citrus Berry. What about the one to the right? A Moonstone in case you want to evolve certain Pokemon with the Moonstone. Oh, the Serenade Orb. Okay, as promised, I'm going to show you everything about the Serenade Orb. Okay, here it is. A dim sphere charged with the energy of moonlight and vivacity. It causes a certain species of Pokemon to evolve, and that Pokemon is Eevee, into Espeon. And what's this item? The TM for Rock Slide. Pretty good. Alright, and what is the secret message? Our clan created Pokemon statue outside. I believe it was different in Crystal. I believe it said back in Crystal, thus we shall erect a Pokemon statue outside. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I remember that. I guess it's the fact that I seem to recall that this wasn't the same message I saw back in Crystal. Okay, now that I'm done here, well, I'm going to make my way to the Union Cave since you can only access one part of the Ruins of Alph through the Union Cave. And I believe one part of the ruins, yeah, you can only get to that one part of the ruins if you go through the certain path in the Union Cave. I believe it's that pathway where I got the TM for Rock Tomb a long time ago. Yeah, I think you know which pathway I'm talking about. As for getting to that one part of the Ruins of Alph, well, I'm not really sure if it's going to be in this video. Now, back in Violet City, yeah, maybe I could have trained up Lantern when it was just a Chinchou, using all those Poliwags and the occasional Poliwhirl. But the problem with that is, I believe some of them knew Mudshot, and that's bad for Chinchou, and let's just say, Chinchou stats aren't very good. I mean, compared to Lanterns, that is. So yeah, I had to train over in New Brocktown so that way I could have Chinchou evolve into Lantern. Or rather, have Chinchou get relatively close to evolving into Lantern. Now, since I caught Chinchou on Route 34, you're probably going to ask me why didn't I catch it earlier in New Brocktown so I could use it to fight Faulkner? Or why didn't I catch it when I first got to Route 34? Well, there are three reasons why I chose to catch Chinchou after fighting Morty. 1. Chinchou's appearance rate is a bit higher on Route 34 compared to New Brocktown, where its appearance rate is only 5% with the old rod. 2. I didn't want to have a lot of team members at the start of the game, since that would have probably made me under-leveled. And 3. If I chose to catch Chinchou a lot earlier to fight Faulkner, then the only electric type move I would probably have at that point in the game would be Spark. And you know how bad Chinchou's Fizzle attack stat is. And besides, Chinchou is a lot better once it evolves. As for why I didn't catch it when I first got to Route 34, it's because if I chose to start using it back then there wouldn't have been a lot of opportunities for Chinchou to gain experience points. And anyway, hold on a second, I believe there's a hidden item right over in the right direction. Okay, as I was saying, I was raising 2 team members back then, and I didn't want to have to raise 3 team members at the same time. Okay, here we have a hidden heart scale. I'm not really sure if too many people know that's there. If you don't know, now you know. So yeah, I could have used Chinchou when I first got to Route 34, but yeah, I didn't want to overwhelm myself by raising 3 team members all at the same time. I mean, yeah, I did have to go through a few hoops just to have Machop learn Ice Punch, if you remember that. Okay, good thing that missed. Well, even though it's an off-road Wooper, I don't think Mud Bomb would have done a whole lot. So yeah, I had to go through a whole lot of hoops just to have Machop learn Ice Punch, and yeah, had I chose to start using Chinchou back then, yeah, I think that probably would have overwhelmed me to the point where, yeah, I'm not really sure if I would even consider using Chinchou anymore. I would probably go with Lapras instead. Okay, I'm just going to heal real quick because, well, since I'm going back into the Union Cave, yeah, odds are I'm going to use a lot of power points, so yeah, I just want to be sure that Chinchou is in, no, rather, Lantern, excuse me, is in tip-top shape. Yeah, I'm joking back and forth between Chinchou and Lantern, so yeah, that's the reason for that little screw-up. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm not really sure if I'm going to get to that part of the Ruins of Alph in this video. If not, then I guess that's okay. If so, then, well, hopefully I have enough time to do what's there. Now, that part of the Ruins of Alph, I believe there's that sliding puzzle that involves Ho-Oh. Although that one, I consider to be kind of hard since, well, there's so many panels that kind of look the same. So, yeah, occasionally I could screw up on that puzzle. So, yeah, I can only do the best that I can. Although back in Crystal, I'm not really sure how I did when it came to that little sliding puzzle. Yeah, it's been a while, so yeah, don't quote me on it. So yeah, back to the mirror herb for a second. Yeah, I'm kind of astounded at the fact that I didn't discover about this little method where you could use the mirror herb to teach one of your Pokemon a certain egg move. I mean, maybe they could have thought about something like that in previous Pokemon games. That way, you don't have to go through so much hassle just to have a certain Pokemon learn an egg move. I mean, yeah, I did want certain Pokemon to learn certain egg moves when I played previous Pokemon games. Although I can't really name certain Pokemon off the top of my head. Okay, I believe there's a Strength Boulder somewhere in this area, but I can't do anything about it right now because I don't have Strength right now. And I won't be getting it anytime soon. Although I seem to recall that there is a hidden item somewhere in this area, I'm just going to get it as soon as I'm done fighting this guy. Although, I'll give it one thing about teaching certain Pokemon egg moves. I think starting from Generation 7, I think you don't get experience points from the daycare anymore, although I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on it. Yeah, I seem to recall Ruins of Pokemon when I played Sun Moon, although I don't seem to recall gaining any experience points when I used the daycare. So, yeah, that's why I said that all that started back in Sun Moon. So yeah, hopefully the Mirror Herb makes a comeback in Winds and Waves because, yeah, I really want to use it to its full potential since I didn't get the chance to do so when I first played Scarlet and Violet. Okay, that hidden item I was talking about, I believe it's somewhere... Oh, come on. Again? Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, I believe that hidden item is over here. Oh, okay, I didn't have to use the dowsing machine for it. Okay, that's the boulder I was talking about. I think it's over to the left in the lower pathway. So yeah, as for Winds and Waves, as for the starters, well, I guess they look pretty cool. The grass starter Brouch, well, kind of reminds me of Sam Eagle from the Muppets. Although, except that Brouch is green and Sam Eagle is blue. Pawbon, I believe it's Pomeranian, I think that's the kind of dog breeds. And for Gekwa, well, I want to say that it's eventually going to become a water poison type, but I'm not really sure if that's the case. Although, I'll tell you one thing. Kind of reminds me of the Geico Gecko in a way. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it were to kind of look like the Geico Gecko once it evolves. Although, I'm not really sure if it is going to be that way. I mean, in a sense, some people kind of see Inteleon as sort of like the Geico Gecko, except that, well, I guess Inteleon is a lot taller. So yeah, I'm looking at Gekwa, and yeah, it kind of looks like it could be a water poison type, or maybe it could be something else entirely. I'm not too big about certain reptiles and poisons, so yeah, maybe Gekwa could possibly evolve into possibly a different type or something. As for Brouts, well, yeah, I'm looking at it, and maybe it could be a grass flying, but that's kind of obvious. So I don't think it's going to evolve into grass flying, although maybe it could be different since I guess Game Freak has been known to throw us a few curveballs along the way. Okay, I think I only have enough time to fight a few more wild Pokemon, and I'll call it an episode. Okay, as you can see, there's that Strength Bolt I was talking about, but once again, I can't do anything about it for the time being since I don't have Strength yet. Although, if I were to go past there, then that's going to take me to another part of the Ruins of Alph, where I believe there's another side panel puzzle. I want to say it's the one that involves Omonite, but I'm not really sure if it is that one. Oh well. We'll find out a lot later on in the game. Okay, hope I can make it out before time's up. Okay, in this patch of water here, I believe there's, I guess a few water ground types like, say, Wooper and even Gastrodon. Oh man, I was thinking about going to the upper pathway, but I guess not. Looking at the amount of time I have left, I don't think I have enough time to fight that Wooper, so I'm just going to run away from it. Okay, finally made it out. Okay, there's that trainer there, but I don't have any time to fight that trainer. Okay, in this patch of grass here, I believe you can find Natsu and even Smeargle, if that interests you. Well, for Smeargle, it really shouldn't, since, yeah, that thing doesn't have very good stats, although it can learn Sketch, and that should interest you. Okay, I guess I'm done here for today. So next time, we're going to wrap up the Ruins of Alph for the time being, and move on to bigger and better things. See you next time.